Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg Shrezavosty with the Deepest Dream YouTube channel. For more TV and movie reviews and interviews, please subscribe, like, and comment to my channel. Thank you so much for your support. Are you a huge Jason Patric fan? Have you seen Rush or Walter Hill's Geronimo? I love that movie, epic western. Or maybe even Narc, Sleepers. I'm trying to think of some more Jason Patric films. After Dark, My Sweet. I'm a huge Jason Patric fan. Oh, also an underrated Jason Patric film is a movie, very slow-moving drama, but very subtle and cool. Just really well done period drama called The Journey of August King. So going into Shrapnel, I want you guys to know that I have a bias for Jason Patric films. I really love him as an actor. I like his subtle delivery, and at times when he gets mad, he actually does blow up in a very intense and very real, at least to me, fashion. So my wish over the years was he starred in more movies and was a lead in more films on the level of his best, like Narc. Now, is Shrapnel on the level of Joe Carnahan's Narc? That movie stars the late Ray Liotta. No, it's not. But that's not a bad thing, okay? That's not, I mean, don't leave Shrapnel right out because it's not as great as Narc. But when you look at the poster and you're looking at, and it goes, Jason Patric in the lead, he has I'm assuming that's some kind of scope rifle. I apologize. He has a weapon in his hand and he's very intense. There is a car aflame with some bad guys in a hooded mask and whatnot. And you're thinking, oh, this feels like a straight up digital on demand trashy film that I'm going to ignore, even though it stars Jason Patric. Some people might say the other way. I love this. I love that Jason Patric's in this movie. It looks like a trashy, straight to on demand, but it's not. It's in theaters as we speak kind of movie. In many ways, it's a little bit of both. It's a B movie that's very simple, cut and dry, and lean. And if you like that, I think you'll have at least a good time or a good enough time watching Shrapnel. Here's a couple of positive parts is it runs at 89 minutes. So you're not going to be spending a big part of your day watching Shrapnel. That's a very good thing. Personally, I love movies under 90 minutes. Gives me the chance to actually watch at least a couple of movies per day. So that's good. And again, the aforementioned Jason Patric's in this film. He plays this guy named Sean. He's an ex-Marine vet who is just in a world of trauma because his daughter, she's been kidnapped in Mexico, specifically Juarez, and he is trying to find her. The authorities in the area are not giving him any kind of clue. Who knows? They may be in it. They may be corrupt. And ultimately, this leads him into, and this is not a spoiler because it's kind of the premise of the movie, leads him to a gang lord, a crime lord within the Juarez area. He's an all-powerful figure. And assumedly, he has possibly the daughter, his daughter, Sean's daughter, again, Sean, played by Jason Patric. She may be dead. She might have gone missing, or she might have been sold off into trafficking to another country or world. You don't know that until the final act of Shrapnel, and I'm not going to give it away what happens. And also starring in this movie is Gigandet, and he plays the right-hand man of Sean. He's just loyal to whatever Sean wants. I guess they're buddies and just in the military, so he's very close. I'm assuming Gigandet's character looks up to Sean as a sort of a big brother or father figure. So that's never really spelled out too much, but it's just inferred. And a lot of this movie really is inferred because the big negative behind Shrapnel is if it's lean, that usually means, a lot of times it means the characterizations are very slim pickings. They're not really well developed. The crime lord, he has one good scene at the beginning of the movie that sort of fleshes out how mean he is, and it's a really good actor. But for the rest of the movie, you really don't get much insight to his character. You don't get much insight. There's maybe a scene or two regarding Sean's wife, and she's worried about how Sean is understandably so traumatized, and he's focused he'll do anything to actually get his daughter back. So the family drama or the characterizations behind Shrapnel are pretty much paper thin and not well developed. Okay. For me, that's not such a big thing because, again, huge Jason Patric fan. In the middle of the movie, there is a raid on his house. He has a ranch-style house out in the middle of just sort of a deserty area. And the bad guys, henchmen, come out to get Sean and his family. Sean also has a daughter along with his wife. So these three loving family members are in trouble. But the problem is, The good thing for them is Sean is very expert in planning, and he's pretty much a one-man killing machine. So actually that centerpiece where there is the raid on the ranch house is a really well done for the budget situation, and I love the action. I don't know how long it goes on, but it really feels like it's the heart of the movie. And the third act, when it's not spoiling much, but you know that he's going to go out and try to find his daughter if she's alive or dead, and he's going to track down the bad guy. That element, the third act, is well done as well. Okay, so on an action level, it works for me. And Patric, there are moments in this movie, sometimes these B movies, the lead actors are good, serviceable, sometimes even very, very good. But when you have someone, in my opinion, of Jason Patric's character and quality in the movie, it just elevates the genre or the story itself. And there's a moment when Jason Patric does a Jason Patric situation and he goes off and it feels real and brutal and violent. And yeah, I felt like I actually believed him in this role. And I hope there are more of these kind of roles for Jason Patric, as well as hopefully a step up into these levels of Narc and Geronimo level styles of storytelling. Would love that. But until then, movies like Shrapnel, for me, I was fine with it. I was cool with it. Had a good time. Couple of good action. The main action sequence in the ranch house is well done. Again, like I said, and it's visceral. And I also wanted to mention, it's directed by William Kaufman. About a month ago, he released a movie called The Channel, which I also enjoyed. And I interviewed him for The Channel. And one of Kaufman's favorite films is Michael Mann's Heat. And you saw a lot of that Heat influence within The Channel. And that's available, I believe, on digital and on demand. Really enjoyed that film. Now, that's a good movie. That's slightly better than this film, but both of them really show off the filmmaking skills of Kaufman. And it'll be interesting to see if he gets a bigger budget to work with as well. And I can't wait to see more of his other films. Just from watching The Channel and this film and Shrapnel, he's just a very visceral, no-holds-barred filmmaker. And when there is a violent moment, he makes sure that violent moment is not glossed over or cut away from. You see the consequences of the violence, and it's pretty surprising in The Channel, and it's definitely surprising in Shrapnel as well. So you sort of a trademark, at least from what I've seen from Kaufman's two films. He has other movies that I haven't seen. So overall, my rating for Shrapnel, it's out of 5 stars. I'm giving it a solid recommendation, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Again, the weakness is the actual development of the characters, which are paper thin. Again, I didn't have a problem with that. So you might have a problem with it if you want something more layered. These type of movies, these revenge or gone missing kind of thrillers, border thrillers. If you're expecting something like Sicario or even, like I said, Michael Mann's Heat, you're not going to get it. This movie is a lot cheaper to make, but I think within those confines, there are still things to really enjoy, like the action sequences. Jason Patric and Gigandet is good as well. Again, as a right-hand man, he doesn't have much to work with, but whatever he works with, he does it well, and with a glint of humor as well. So yeah, Shrapnel, you could do worse. I know that's not a glowing endorsement, but if you are like me, a fan of Jason Patric, and you love B action movies and are not expecting some kind of really epic storytelling in the mix, Shrapnel should do rather well for you this weekend, okay, or any weekend. Again, it's in theaters as of this recording, but mainly a lot of you will see it on digital and on demand. Again, thanks again for listening to this review of Shrapnel, and like, comment, subscribe to my Deepest Dream YouTube channel for more of these movie reviews. I also do TV. I'm starting to do more TV reviews as well as interviews for movies and television. Thanks again so much for all your support, and take care.